Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, May 10th, 2020. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you if you're a biological mother, an adopted mother, a foster mother, a furry mother, a godmother, a father who steps in as a mother, or an emotional mother, because oftentimes we're put in the place in our lives of being a motherly figure to those around us, whether they be a niece or a coworker or a friend. It's a very important part, and it's what I want to discuss today. Not the role of being a mother, but the impact, the powerful relationship that our mothers are to us. They are the most important and most powerful relationship we have because we come through them. So even if you didn't know your biological mother, you came through this person. You were attached to their blood, to their organs, to their emotions, to their outer world. You heard if they were argued with someone. You heard if they sang to you. You felt their stress. You felt their anxiety. You felt in the womb whether you were loved. So before you came through this person, you were already programmed for the life you are living today. They already set you up. You had already been formatted with how much you are capable of being loved, how worthy you are, how much you have, and how much you wouldn't have. Every single one of you, whether you are a male or a female, was programmed, was formatted by that powerful, amazing, magnificent relationship. But here's the issue that most of us deal with, and it is in no way our mother's fault. No matter what type of mother she was, whether she was perfect, is perfect, whether she gave you up or kept you, it doesn't matter. Whether she abused you or not. The truth of the matter is every single one of us deal with some emotions that usually lead to how we feel about ourselves, and how we feel about ourselves usually says to us in some way, we might not be enough, or we're not worthy, we're not enough, we don't measure up. Perhaps you feel you don't measure up because your mother was demanding. Perhaps she was too perfect. Perhaps she chose another sibling over you, or preferred just to have a relationship with your father and didn't want children. It doesn't matter what type of relationship you have, had, or didn't have at all with your mother. I would imagine and bet that most of you listening to me today, if not all, feel that there is something about you that isn't enough. So I'd like to explain to you today in a most truthful way that not only are you enough, but that you are perfect. You are powerful. You are unlimited. And I want to tell you the reason why you had to come in to this incarnation, this earth, through that person's body, why you chose her, why she chose you, and most importantly, why God, heaven, your angels chose this soul relationship. And there's really only one reason. Because our family, our blood relations, especially our mother, that's our greatest teacher. You came here to literally overcome not only your past karma from other lifetimes, but you actually chose to come here and overcome your mother, and yes, your father, and your environment, your wealth factor, your siblings, all that around you. They're all teaching models. They're all modules for you to get through and pass and get your certification. And what is your certification? Hopefully it's happiness. Hopefully it's feeling closure and accomplishment when you are done this life cycle. So your mother knew that she in some way, shape, or form would not only hopefully be very maternal, but that she would be your greatest teacher. She would set you up, and you would either coast along, which most of us don't. Hopefully you do, but most of us don't. Or you would become the greatest version of yourself because of her. Isn't that amazing? My mother is a tremendous role model to me. She's an overcomer. She is an achiever. She has a very strong will. She is a force to be reckoned with. I had to overcome that. I had to attain the courage to follow my life path. Not because my mother wasn't courageous. She was such a force that I had to overcome the great desire to have her approval, to know that she would be proud of me, to know that I wouldn't let her down. It mattered to me tremendously my entire life. It still matters to me today. And I did it. I overcame. I gained that courage to be able to follow my life path, to be able to live my life according to how I want to live it. And it has been very rewarding. That was her purpose, to install in me, through her own life experience and through the woman that she was and is. It was her role. It was her job to instill in me all of those obstacles, all of those qualities, all of those lessons that I needed to become a work in progress, toward becoming the greatest version of myself. I'm getting there. I still have work to do. But I've become a very long way. I've come a very long way. And that is the purpose of your life as well. Whether your mother has transitioned to heaven or she is still on this earth, no matter if you guys are best friends or she is your greatest challenge, her role in your life is simply to test you, grow you, model you to become the greatest version of yourself And that is why you should respect her and should adore her, putting aside the human emotions of it and understanding that everything about you that you can give yourself a pat on the back about in some indirect or direct way was because of her. What a magnificent responsibility. Amazing, amazing. Now let's get back to the challenge that for the most of us, have. Yes, your mother is your greatest programmer. She is your greatest teacher. Before you even leave the womb, you are programmed already with, and notice I keep using the word program because it's true, your subconscious mind has already picked up emotions and beliefs, feelings about things, thoughts, all of that through her, through being housed in her body. And they are either going to set you up for a very successful, easy, powerful life, or they're going to be something you have to overcome. So most of the time, she doesn't mean it. She doesn't mean it. But she gives you many things to overcome. She gives you that feeling of, in some way, you're not enough. So I repeat to you, you're not only enough, young lady and young man, you're more than enough. We come to earth to experience this world. We come to experience love and hate, yin and yang, a boot camp. Heaven is love. It is immeasurable love. It is perfection. It is acceptance. Everything is instant. Instant gratification. Instant lessons. It's lightness of being. And we can learn there, and we do learn there. We can go to class there. But it's not the same as being here in this thick, sensory-driven world of ours, where we feel human. We feel anger. We feel jealousy. We feel envy. We feel sweat. We experience sweat. We experience hardships. We experience joys. All those up and downs and roller coaster ride, we cannot experience in heaven. We look at everything. They love you in heaven. They love you more today than they ever did when they were on earth. But they know too much. They can't get worried. They can't get angry. They can't be dissatisfied. They observe you and they see the roller coaster ride that you live, and they jump in and help you. When you scream help in your mind, you have departed loved ones and angels and spirit guides that are instantly come to you if they're not there already to help you. So they're at your disposal, but they can't get into it with you. They can't feel your anger with you. They can't feel your impatience with you. They can only observe it and out of love try to help you. So we all come here because we grow more here. We expand more here. We climb mountains here. We have to figure out, how do I become happy? And by the way, a reminder, happiness is a decision. It's not based on how much money you have or where you live or who your friends are. It's an inside job. And I know that sounds like a bumper sticker, but it's true. You're happy because you can center yourself and feel happiness, and you can be happy whether you are sitting in a gutter or whether you're sitting in a mansion. It doesn't matter. But this world that we live in tests us. It'll test that capacity every day to feel happiness, to feel joy. But when we get out of this world, when we are able to close out this particular life and move on, we will get to review this life and see how much more that we attain in the way of character, in the way of personality, in the way of lessons, in the way of growth. And that is why we come. This life is simply a game. It's a game of life. And all those people around you are all trying to figure it out. And some are students and some are teachers to you personally. Step back and see the simplicity of that. It may help you in dealing with it all. I bet you it does. I step back sometimes and I look at someone and I go, oh, they don't mean it. They're just a mess. Because of their own life experience. And by the way, I don't think that condescendingly. It just helps me sometimes when someone harms me emotionally and mentally. I can look and go, well, they are where they came from. They are who's been around them. They are their own life experience. And one day, they, like me, will go back to heaven. And they will get to see where they were triumphant, what was beautiful, that they didn't even realize was beautiful, who cared, who wanted to care but couldn't, who tried, who really didn't try. They get to hear all of that. And then we all get to be in that magnificent presence, that magnificent energy, realm, dimension. So your mother is the most important teacher in your life because you start out being attached to her. It's very, well, it's intimate, isn't it? And she's just a human being with such a tremendous responsibility and power. And so, as you sit here today listening to me, if you don't feel loved in your life, it started with her. If you don't feel that you've accomplished enough, back to the womb. If you don't feel you have achieved all your goals in any way, if you feel that you're not your ideal weight, if you feel that you haven't been kind to someone, if you feel that you're not living in your ideal house, if you have not traveled, if you have fear, if you have any phobias, remember, I'm not picking on that relationship, I'm not picking on that person. It all started with where you came into and who you went through. Are you massively content right now with everything in your life? I would imagine for most of you, if not all of you, the answer is no. So here's what you do. First, I want you, whether you knew her or not, to embody your thoughts in your mother, your biological mother. And I want you to forgive her for everything that she was unable to be. She tried. Whether she was perfect, more than enough, not there, didn't try, whatever she represents for you, I want you to forgive her and understand while forgiving her, and you can forgive her. You can because she was just playing a part. She was your programming tool as you traveled through her. And whatever programming you came with, the whole point of you being here is to reprogram, is to choose again, is to live your ideal life. Whether loving or not loving, she's a tool. Secondly, I want you to forgive yourself because you didn't know better. You put everything about who you are in the hands of a human mother and a human father, but especially a mother. It's not your fault that you were programmed in the womb. It's not your fault that today she's still a part of you no matter what, and that you subconsciously react at times because of her. A lot of your autopilot life is because of your mother, if not all of it. So forgive yourself for just being the sponge that you were, and the sponge that you may still be today. Thirdly, I want you to know something. You are enough. You are more than enough. And I want you to start today talking to yourself like the magnificent, lovable, worthy, deserving creation that you are. Repeat this after me. I am lovable. And if you choke up before you say it, if you stall, you've got some work to do. But you can do this. Say it again. I am lovable. I am deserving. I am worthy. I am able to achieve anything I set my mind to. I am beautiful. And again, I am lovable. I am powerful. I want you to talk lovingly to yourself like this all through the day, every day. It will literally reprogram your subconscious mind. I honor all the mothers listening to me today for agreeing before you came to this earth to take on this most powerful teaching role. And whether you think you've done well or not done well, honor yourself, because each and every one of you really did the best you could at the time that you chose it and moving forward. No matter how it's turned out, you honestly gave the most that you could. And if you're still doing it today, even if you're just a fur mama, you are giving the greatest gift. So I honor you. But remember that, like your mother, you were just a programming setup for these souls that you gave birth to or are currently mother. But but sticking with the ones that you did give birth to. You were the programmer. You were the setup. And the rest was up to them. Just like your mother set you up, and now the rest is up to you. And when you transition back home, you will feel and understand that was all a learning module, and that you are perfect. You are huge. You are magnificence. You are light. But for now, be grateful for the human being that decided to be your first teacher. And give yourself credit for wanting to be here and to live this beautiful, joyful, amazing, but also challenging and sometimes hard life. Give yourself credit for that courage, for that tenacity. You deserve it. And remember once again that no matter what, she didn't mean it. And you didn't mean it. We only ever try our best, whether it measures up or not. We give only what we can. And even if it doesn't seem it, at the end of the day, it's all about love. And sometimes those that weren't capable of loving us at all give us the greatest gift because they teach us. They make us reach for love. They make us reach higher for it. Making us more loving, making us give more. That's why those who often have the worst mothers become the best mothers. Because they know what they were missing. They know how it felt. So they want to correct it. Once again, the purpose of the teacher of mother. You would not be, in some measure, who you are today without her. Forgive her. Forgive you. Honor her. Honor you. See what programming today that you'd like to still change, and go about self-talking lovingly. Perhaps doing other forms of hypnosis, making goals, whatever steps you can take. But I'm going to leave this with you today. And I want you to carry this with you, this knowing. No matter who your mother is, no matter what life you've had, you came here as a being from heaven of perfection, of the capacity for tremendous love, of intelligence, of power. And you are still adored like that today, whether you see it around you or know it or hear it. You are enough. You are adored. don't let what's playing out around you convince you otherwise. Because there is a dimension where beings and departed loved ones and angels are looking at you and seeing only magnificence and perfection. They adore you. You are enough. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a mother today, I wish you again a happy Mother's Day. Treat yourself well. You deserve it. You deserve it more than you realize. Thank you again. Many blessings.